I was thinking about this.
Yanivia locked in. Obviously a champion against champions like Trundle and the Tahm Kench. The power of that ulti to really slow you down the walls against a Cassio can be devastating.
It is interesting because Mordekai's a champion that can still split push even when faced with Nocturne comps.
True.
So I do like it even when T1 have ways to attack side lanes, with Nocturne and other people joining. It is something that can still always have threat there due to the Mordekaiser ultimate. T1, of course, they have to approach this as one game at a time. Every single game must win for them to extend the series. Every play critical, including the level 1s.
Faker trying to move away. Good damage going down on Owner, forcing that early flash out. You have to be terrified now because Cuz is going to start to take over in the jungle.
We'll see if Cuz can make something happen. Might look here, has his Raptors just now done. Making his way over, even getting a summoner or getting the egg would be big.
Faker grounded, Cuz on the way in. Good wall to force the disengage, but BDD full committing even though he has no mana. They do manage to get the passive out of Faker. Cuz full committing, Peter on the way, the tongue lash there. They want to give the kill to BDD, but it'll go to Cuz in the end. Keria and Guma are powerful. They move in with the heal, a pillar to immediately block them out. The 50-50 goes to Owner. Flash away from the handshake. Is Peter barely able to make it out alive. Good recovery from T1.
We'll be able to maintain this lead thanks to the kill that he got. Owner about to hit 6 though. And that is going to be when he comes online is perfect.
Perfect, flash away.
It's really looking like a full commit or bust.
Cuz ready for the 50-50. Faker off to the side, decent damage onto BDD. Owner going all in. Flashback coming out from Cuz. Wall there as well as BDD just barely able to skirt around the edge. But the objective set up now for the side of T1. Double TPs. KT want to claim it for a bit more. Ulti coming out from the side of Keria. Drake down. The backline of KT berserk as they look if they can turn it back. But again, they don't have the tools to keep the fight going unless Peter wants to flash tongue lash. But that's all their CC. Perfect fighting off to the side, dragging Faker into the death realm. In the meantime, BDD starting to walk forward. Doran potentially caught out. The forward man! BDD! Showing he can be clutch in the moments that count. Turning it again. KT were losing the fight as they lost the objective. Gumayusi will not be able to make the bailout work. The Drake to T1, the fight to KT.
Oh, Doran's gonna want that one back. The big whiff on the Gragas engage there.
Peter, knock up a bit too far. The thick skin, yeah, it's not gonna save you. Caught up in the hype, caught up in the moment. Faker gonna get one back.
And it's not until this pillar comes through that they're really ready to commit.
Yeah, and they try and pincer them against, then Doran goes for the big play, but he's left in the middle, and BDD hits the ultimate, peeling all the rest of the DPS, getting those stuns.
As a possible play onto Doran here, a dive with about 50 seconds left on the clock would be big.
Owner on the way. Access to the ulti. TP available. Full commit now going down. Owner turning off the lights. All of KT immediately pulling back. Peter isolated, caught out. Trying to stay standing with the thick skin. Full Abyssal dive away as Faker takes down the top lane tier 1. And again, this is the struggle of the KT composition. 5v5 at the pit. Flash ulti available for BDD if he wants to try and find it. Perfect, isolated off to the side. Hostile takeover stops Peter from going any further. Docdam completely isolated. Cooking the barrel for just a little bit longer, and now the Drake is going to go down. Owner taking it. Docdam isolated. And Perfect trying to force a fight with Faker, but he gets nothing as the wall comes in to interrupt. Flash over the wall. The ulti from BDD. He might get a couple more kills, but again, the objective belongs to KT. Even as T1 begin to fall, Faker and Keria are ready to turn it. But have they overcommitted the wall there, trying to disengage Keria? Faker running into the pinch, Obliterate connecting for full damage. Cuz on the chase, waiting a few seconds for the pillar, but the stun clutch to disengage for the side of T1.
So many summoners were blown there for KT.
And I think the big thing that I'm looking at is the effectiveness of this Tahm Kench. This is a moment where across this series it's felt like understand the gamble that KT are in because T1 are collapsing, and in the meantime waves are being deleted. It's costing KT hundreds of gold just to be here. And if T1 take the fight, it might just cost them the game.
Perfect has
sticking around, ready to get them away. The ulti not stacked up. Perfect going forward just a little bit longer. The Death Realm to come out. Owner going to respond with an ulti of his own, turning off the lights on this team fight between both lineups. Gumayusi and Perfect in the Death Realm, and Guma takes those. T1 focusing on the objective. Cleanse used from Keria. Heal on the way. Faker finding a bit more damage. BDD isolated. Hostile takeover going to connect onto BDD. It won't have much effect as Cuz tries to chase Faker out. But Docdam, he might take Keria. But it's T1 taking the Otacon. Guma securing the objective.
And there it is. The second smite for T1 strikes again as Otacon goes their way.
A bit tough to deal with. You can see the pierce that lands onto Dokdom, taking that chunk of health. Flash in, full committal to the fight. Pillar to isolate Owner, redemption to heal Faker right back up. That's almost every single cooldown burn. It's on BDD to try to turn it back, but it's a split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides, collapsing as Owner moves in on top of Perfect. Dorn has been isolated in the death realm, but he'll manage to make it over. Flashback, absolutely jukes him. And now it's Perfect caught in a 1v1 with Faker right as he comes out. He is stunned, but he won't be taken down. All of T1 in the pit. The spears stacked, smites available.
Faker's gonna teleport back. They're recalling Mordekaiser and the Anivia.
The fight just continues to go. 6K getting lower. Dokdom trying to get a bit of poke. Hostile takeover connecting. They don't have a cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD waiting over the wall. The ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on to Faker isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T1 as everybody on KT falls.
And I am starting to hear some silver scrapes in my telecom war. The damage that he needed to as the double fake out from Doran. In the MasterCard prize at the moment of the game, Ocean Soul secured for T1. Call the T1 Baron. Gold leads there, Ocean Soul is theirs. And KT, we'll see if they can make something happen.
Owner and T1 have secured every single objective this game. Cuz moving in, but zoned away by the Storm from the side of the team. Berserk now onto Cuz, has to ulti. Owner using an ulti of his own just to try and disengage. Dorn, meanwhile, in the mid lane, happy to just continue fighting. Perfect going into the back line, looking to get taken down by Faker. He's in the death realm, but Faker's happy with the 1v1. Just in time, he gets out, and Dorn is there to seal the deal on the kill. KT desperate to get anything. They've already lost their top laner. The game rapidly slipping away.
They're trying their best to not let this game go to 5 as Doran still searching.
No
T1.
flash for BDD, that crucial piece of CC and exhaust there. But Faker just waiting in the darkness. Guma stacking up the spears, the wall to zone KT away. Flash not there for Cuz either. BDD off on the side is going to use the ultimate. W in from Peter does absolutely nothing. T1, they see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a Baron. T1 reminding us why they are here, what they can do in a world final.
And T1 ensure that we are going the distance. We are getting our full value out of this series as KT just cannot close the gap to T1's backline. Game is as good as lost, and Peter, it's not an enviable job. You're trying to play engage Kench, and I've seen a single man do that well.
It's so effortless for T1 to just walk away.
Yeah, perfect. Guma is 2 levels up on the top laner.
Cuz caught out, isolated, immediate subjugate to try and stay standing, forced to flash back. BDD in the darkness! 3-man! But it's Doran to try to turn it right back! The ulti is decent, Carry wants to turn it back with the hostile takeover. The gold deficit is just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup. The triple, the quadra, T1 bringing us to silver scrapes.
Guma lives the engage, and T1's hopes live in the grand finals.
And the telecom war has never been this insane. World's Finals, Game 5.
A back and forth, absolute dominance in Game 4, though. The story for T1 as we get ready for Game 5. Let's send it back over to the analyst desk.